Hey, and welcome to Fit Me Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Most people don't struggle because of breakfast. They don't usually lose control at lunch, and many people even do pretty well at dinner. But after dinner, that's where things often fall apart. You already ate, you are not really hungry, but still you walk into the kitchen, you open the cupboard, you check the fridge, you look something sweet, and then maybe something salty, and then maybe something small, and then suddenly that something small becomes much more than you planned. And after that, thoughts start. Why did I do this again? I was doing so well. I have no discipline. I always ruin it in the evening. But here is what I want you to understand today. You are probably not eating after dinner because you are hungry. You are eating because something else is going on. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are stressed. Maybe you finally have a quiet moment after a long day. Maybe you feel like you deserve something. Maybe food has become the signal that the day is over. And that is what this episode is about. Not judging yourself, not blaming yourself, not creating another strict rule like I'm never eating after dinner again, because that usually doesn't work. Today we are going to talk about why you keep eating after dinner even when you are not hungry, and what you can do about it in a practical, realistic way. I will give you a simple framework called STOP. S.T.O.P. S stands for slow down. T is track the trigger. O is offer for another option. And P is plan tomorrow before tonight happens again. So if you are someone who does well all day but struggles after dinner, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. So first, I want to say something very clearly. If you eat after dinner, even when you are not hungry, it doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean you are broken. It doesn't mean that you have no discipline. It means that you have a pattern. And patterns are learned. Patterns are repeated. And patterns can be changed. But most people try to change the pattern in the wrong way. They say, from tomorrow, no more snacks. From tomorrow, I will be strict. From tomorrow, I will just stop. But then tomorrow evening comes, you are tired again, you are stressed again, you are alone on the couch again, the kitchen is still there, the food is still there, the same feeling comes back, and the same behavior happens again. Then you blame yourself, but blaming yourself doesn't break the pattern. Understanding the pattern breaks the pattern. Let me give you an example. Imagine your car makes a strange noise. You don't fix the car by saying, "Stupid car, why are you like this?" You open the hood, you look at what is going on, and you're probably going to ask, where is this noise coming from? What part is not working well? What needs attention? your eating habits are similar. If you keep eating after dinner, that behavior is not random. It is telling you something. And the question is, what is it telling you? So there are a few reasons why after dinner is one of the hardest parts of the day. And reason number one is you might be tired. By the evening, your brain has made hundreds of decisions. Decisions like what to eat, what to wear, what to do at work, what to answer, what to cook, what to tell the kids, what to solve, what to remember. All day long, your brain is working. So in the evening, your brain wants comfort. It wants easy. It wants something that feels good now, not something that will help you in 3 months. And that's why the evening version of you is not the same as morning version of you. Morning you says, today I will eat well. Evening you says, I need something. And both versions are you, but they are not in the same state. In the morning, you have more energy. In the evening, you have less energy. So if your plan depends on strong willpower in the evening, you are already making it harder than it needs to be. So reason number two is that you finally stop. So many people are busy all day. You have your work, you have your family, messages, tasks, cooking, cleaning, helping others, solving problems. Then dinner is over. The house gets a little quieter. You sit down and suddenly you feel everything you didn't have time to feel during the day. Stress, loneliness, boredom, sadness, frustration, pressure, and food becomes something to do with that feeling. Food gives you a short break. Food gives you comfort. Food gives you pleasure. Food gives you a sense of control, even if only for a few minutes. And this is why I often say after dinner eating is often not about hunger. It's about the nervous system looking for a relief. Reason three is you use food as a reward. And this one is very common. You have worked all day. You have helped everyone else. You have tried to be good. You have done your duties. And then the thought comes, I deserve something. And honestly, I understand that. I have been there. But because what you actually deserve is you deserve rest and you do deserve pleasure. You do deserve something nice. But here is the problem. If food is your only reward, you will keep needing food. If the only nice moment in your day is chocolate on the couch, of course your brain will fight for it. That doesn't mean chocolate is bad, but it means your life needs more than food as the only reward. Reason number four is that you didn't eat enough earlier. Sometimes the answer is also very practical. You are eating after dinner because you are actually not fed well enough. Maybe your breakfast was too small. Maybe your lunch was rushed. Protein was low. Dinner was light. And then at night your body says, we need more. But instead of wanting chicken, potatoes, and vegetables, your body wants fast energy. Something sweet, something salty, something easy. So sometimes the solution to evening snacking is not stronger discipline at night. It is better eating during the day. And this is very, very important because many people try to save calories during the day. They eat too little. Then at night, they overeat. Then they feel guilty. And then the next day, they try to eat even less. And the cycle continues. And that is not lack of discipline. That is just a bad strategy. Reason number 5 is that it has become part of your identity. And this one is a little bit deeper. So, because some people don't just snack at night, they see themselves as someone who snacks at night. They say, I'm just a night eater. I always need something sweet after dinner. I can't watch TV without snacks. And this is just me. And when you say something often enough, your brain starts to believe it. Then the behavior becomes part of your identity. So changing the behavior is not only about removing food. It's about changing the story. From I always snack at night to I am learning to end my day without always using food. And that is a very, very different identity. And it starts small. What is then the real question? So the question is not how do I stop eating after dinner? That question is too simple. The better question is what am I really needing after dinner? Because sometimes you are not needing food. You are needing rest. You are needing quiet. You are needing comfort. You are needing connection. You are needing a break. You are needing to feel like the day is over. You are needing to stop being responsible for everyone because food is easy. Food becomes the answer to all of these needs. It's like using a hammer for every job. If you need hang a picture, hammer is good. But if you need to clean a window, hammer is probably not the best tool to use. Food is the same. Food is great when the problem is hunger. But if the problem is stress, food can only help for a short moment. If the problem is exhaustion, food will not give you the deep rest you need. If the problem is loneliness, food will not give real connection. If the problem is boredom, food gives you a distraction, but it's not a real solution. So we need to learn what is the real need and what is the right tool. And that brings us to my S.T.O.P framework. And what that S.T.O.P framework, what are those letters? It's simple to remember. As S.T.O.P, it means it's a simple word to remember. And S, it stands for slowing down. Because that's the first step. It's to slow down things. Not stop completely, not to be perfect, just slow down. Because most after dinner eating happens automatically. You are not making a clear decision. You just find yourself in the kitchen. You just find yourself opening the cupboard. You just find yourself eating. So the first goal is not to change everything. The first goal is to create a pause. A pause is powerful because a pause gives you choice. Without a pause, old habits run the show. With the pause, you have a chance to choose differently. And it doesn't mean that you always will. but it gives you a chance. So here is a very simple tool. Before eating after dinner, ask yourself, am I hungry or am I looking for something? That's it. Not a long journal, not a 30-minute meditation, just one question. Am I hungry or am I looking for something? And be honest. If the answer is yes, I am hungry, then you will eat. It's as simple as that. There is nothing wrong with eating when you are hungry. But if the answer is no, I'm not hungry, I just want something, then we have a useful information. You know, this is not physical hunger, it is something else. Another simple pause is drinking a glass of water or making tea, not because water magically removes cravings, but because it creates space. It gives you 1 or 2 minutes to check in, and often that's enough to break the automatic pattern. Another tool, sit down before you eat, because many people snack standing up. I'm guilty for it. I go to my fridge, look something to eat, then I eat it right away, go back. And that is what happens for most people, also for me. And maybe you are like me, standing in front of the fridge, standing at the counter, eating from the packets, eating while cleaning, eating while preparing food. And when you sit down, you make it more conscious. You tell your brain, we are choosing this. And sometimes when you make it conscious, you will realize that I don't even really want this. So the first step is not restriction. The first step is awareness. Slowing down, creating a pause, ask the question, am I hungry or am I looking for something? So this is your first step, what stands for S. Then T, it's track the trigger. And that is your second step. This doesn't mean tracking calories. This means tracking the reason. After dinner eating always has a trigger. It might be emotional, it might be physical, it might be environmental, it might be social. And I want you to look, or we look together, a few common triggers, what I have seen, either myself or my clients or my family members are struggling. And trigger number one is stress. And because maybe you had a hard day, your body is still tense, your mind is still busy, and you want to switch off. So food becomes the off button. You eat because you want to feel different. Then trigger number two is boredom. Dinner is over, nothing exciting is happening, TV is on, and you want stimulation. Food makes the evening feel more interesting. Trigger number three is habit. So you always have something sweet after dinner. So now your brain expects it. If you are full, your brain says, where is my usual thing? Trigger number four is restriction. You were too strict during the day. You said no too many times. You didn't eat enough. So at night, your body and mind push back. Trigger number five is emotional load. You carry a lot. You have kids, work, partner, parents, money, house, health. And at night, food becomes the moment where you don't have to think. Trigger six is environment. And the food is visible. The snacks are easy to reach. The ice cream is in the freezer. The chocolate is in the drawer. Your environment is asking you to eat, not because you are weak, because it is there. So here is a practical exercise for the next 7 days. If you eat after dinner, don't judge it. You just write one sentence. You can write it in old-fashioned way, pen and paper, or in your notes in your phone. And you just write this sentence. I ate after dinner because, and then your reason. And without any judging it, whatever reason it is. And here are a few examples. I ate after dinner because I was stressed. I ate after dinner because I was bored. I ate after dinner because I was tired. I ate after dinner because I wanted something sweet. I ate after dinner because everyone else was eating. I ate after dinner because I didn't eat enough during the day. And this is not about shame. This is data. And data helps you change. Because if you don't know the trigger, you keep fighting the wrong problem. If the trigger is stress, the solution is stress relief. If the trigger is hunger, the solution is better meals earlier. If the trigger is boredom, the solution is a better evening routine. If the trigger is environment, the solution is changing what is available. You can't solve the problem if you don't know what the problem is. So track the trigger and do this for next 7 days. Then next step for my S.T.O.P framework is O, and it stands for offer another option. So that's the third step. And this is important because most people try to remove the snacks, but don't replace what the snacks were going to do for them. And that leaves an empty space. And empty spaces usually get filled by old habits. So instead of asking, how do I stop eating? Ask, what can I do instead that gives me what I actually need? If you need comfort, what else can give comfort? If you need rest, what else can give rest? If you need a reward, what else can feel rewarding? If you need to switch off, what else helps you switch off? And let's make this a little bit more practical, because these are maybe you are listening this and this sounds like that, oh, this there is something what you are talking, but if you don't have any practical tools, this is just words what hopefully makes a little bit sense. But that's why I want to give you practical tools. And if you eat because you are stressed, try maybe a 10-minute walk, a hot shower, 5 slow breaths, stretching on the floor, writing down what is in your mind. Not because these are magic, but because they help your body calm down. And you don't need to do all of this. Pick one thing, try it for a couple of days. If that doesn't help with your stress, try your next one, and so on. If you are eating because you are bored, maybe you could try a simple hobby, maybe a short walk, maybe a phone call to a friend, a family member, or talking with your spouse. Maybe it's reading 5 pages, preparing something for tomorrow. Maybe it's going outside for fresh air, because boredom needs engagement, not always food. If you eat because you feel lonely, try messaging a friend, calling someone, sitting with your partner without the phone, joining a group, writing your feelings down. Because loneliness needs connection, not only snacks. If you eat because you need a reward, this is big. Create a reward list that is not food. For example, a hot bath, a good book, a quiet walk, a favorite show, music, massage, early bedtime, skincare, time alone, time outside, a nice tea. Again, food can be part of life, but food cannot be the only reward. If food is your only reward, you will keep feeling pulled toward it. If you eat because you are actually hungry, then the option is food, but make it intentional. For example, Greek yogurt with berries, cottage cheese, protein pudding, eggs, fruit and yogurt, a small sandwich, something that actually feeds you, not just random eating from the cupboard. This is important because I'm not saying never eat after dinner, because that would be too strict. What I'm saying is that know why you are eating and choose smarter. Sometimes the better option is eating. Sometimes the better option is rest. Sometimes the better option is connection. And sometimes the better option is sleep. But you need these options, because if the only option is food, food will always win. Then the last P from my S.T.O.P framework is, it stands for plan tomorrow before tonight happens again. And that is the last step, but this is also where many people fail. They overeat at night. They feel bad. And then they will say, tomorrow I will do better. But they don't have a plan. They don't make a plan. So tomorrow looks exactly like today. Same stress, same dinner, same couch, same snacks, same kitchen, same habit. And then they are surprised when the same thing happens. But the same setup creates the same result. So we need to change the setup, and we need to do it before the hard moment, because 9 p.m. is not the best time to make a wise decision. At 9 p.m., you are tired. At 9 p.m., your brain wants comfort. At 9 p.m., your future goals feel far away. So plan earlier. Here are simple planning questions. Question number 1 is that what usually happens after dinner? And be honest with this one. Do you go straight to the couch? Do you clean the kitchen? Do you snack while watching TV? Do you eat standing? Do you drink wine or any other alcohol? Do you open chocolate? There is no shame. You just need to notice the pattern. Then question number 2 is that what is my plan for tonight? And not a perfect plan, a realistic plan. For example, after dinner, I will clean the kitchen, make tea, and sit down. Or after dinner, I will go for a 10-minute walk. Or after dinner, I will have one planned snack and then close the kitchen. Or after dinner, I will brush my teeth and go upstairs. So these are just examples how you can plan. Then question number 3 is that what snack is planned if I actually want one? And this is important because saying nothing often backfires. A planned snack can be very, very powerful. For example, I will have yogurt and berries. I will have one piece of chocolate with tea. I will have popcorn in a bowl. So it's not just eating from packets, it's a certain amount what you are okay to eat with. I will have a fruit. But and the key here is that put it on a plate or in a bowl, sit down, eat slowly, enjoy it, and then be done. And this is very different from eating directly from a package while standing in the kitchen. Question number 4 is that what can I make harder? And because the environment matters. If chocolate is on the counter, you will think about chocolate. If crisps are open in the cupboard, you will hear them calling your name. And some of you, they are calling aloud your name. If the snacks are next to the couch, you are making it too easy. You don't need to remove everything from your house, but make the automatic behavior harder. Put snacks away. Don't leave food visible. Buy single portions if needed and keep better options easy. Because it's often when you open your counter or fridge, it depends what you are seeing there first. So when you bring your food in your counter or something, order what is visible matters a lot. Maybe you can prepare your tea, keep your protein snacks available because your environment should support the person you want to become, not the habit you are trying to change. And then question number 5 is what is my minimum win? And this is very important because most people create all or nothing plans. They say, I will not snack at all. Then they snack once and they think they failed. Instead, create a minimum win. Examples for this. I will pause before eating. I will sit down if I snack. I will not eat from the package. I will leave one bite. I will write down my trigger. I will choose one planned snack. This way, even if you still eat, you can still practice the new identity. And that matters because habit change is not only about the outcome, it is about the reps. Every time you pause, you are training awareness. Every time you sit down, you are training intention. Every time you track the trigger, you are learning about yourself. Every time you choose a planned snack, you are building trust. And this is how change happens. Not all at once, but one rep at a time. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when trying to stop eating after dinner. And mistake number 1 is trying to be perfect. People are saying, I will never snack again. And that sounds strong, but often it creates pressure. And pressure leads to rebellion. Instead, you could say that I'm learning to handle evenings better. This is softer, more realistic, and much more useful. So, mistake number 2 is undereating during the day. And this one is one of the biggest mistakes. If you are hungry at night because you didn't eat enough during the day, you don't need discipline. You need food, a better breakfast, a better lunch, enough protein, enough fiber, enough real meals. Because you don't need to make nighttime harder by starving daytime you. Mistake number 3 is keeping trigger foods too easy. So you don't need to prove that you can keep everything at home and never touch it. That is not required. If certain foods are hard for you right now, make them less available. And this is not weakness. This is smart. If you know that something is hard for me, I don't need to test myself every single night. That is like putting a cake on the table and saying, let's see if I'm strong enough. Why? Why you should be doing that? Make your life easier. So then mistake number 4 is not having another way to relax. If food is your main relaxation tool, you will keep using it. So build other tools. Maybe it's walking, stretching, tea, reading, breathing, music, a bath, talking, journaling, going to bed earlier. It doesn't have to be special. It just has to work. Mistake number 5 is saying after a bad night. And this may be the most important. If you eat more than planned after dinner, don't turn it into drama. Don't say, I ruined everything. Say and ask yourself, what happened? Was I tired? Was I stressed? Was I hungry? Was I lonely? Was I too strict today? What can I grow? What can I learn? Because this is how you actually grow. Same keeps you stuck. Curiosity helps you change. Let me give you a simple example from coaching. Many clients tell me my day is good, but the evening is terrible. And often when we look at the day, the first part looks very controlled, maybe even too controlled. Coffee, small breakfast, light lunch, busy afternoon, dinner. And then after dinner, everything opens. They feel tired. The body wants energy. The mind wants comfort. So they start snacking. Then they feel guilty. At the first, they think the solution is I need to stop buying snacks. Sometimes that helps. But often we need to look deeper. We ask, did you eat enough protein? Did you eat enough during the day? Did you plan the evening? What emotions are coming up after dinner? What do you actually need at that time? And often the answer is not one big thing. It's a few small things. Better lunch, more protein, a planned evening snack, tea after dinner, a walk, no eating from the packets, writing down the trigger. And after a few weeks, the person starts to say, I still have evenings where it is harder, but I feel more in control. And That is the goal. Not perfect, but more in control. Because when you feel more in control, you build self-trust. And self-trust is more powerful than any strict diet. Now I want to make this very practical. So if this episode feels like you, here is what I want you to do tonight. Not tomorrow, but tonight. And choose one of these. And important, choose only one. Option number one is the pause. Before eating after dinner, ask, am I hungry or am I looking for something? Option number two is the trigger sentence. If you eat after dinner, write, I ate because, and write your because, and just one sentence. Option number three is the planned snack. Choose one snack before the evening starts. Put it in a bowl or in a plate. Sit down, enjoy it, and be done. Option number four is the 10-minute delay. When the urge comes, wait 10 minutes. I personally, set a timer from my phone or my watch, put it for 10 minutes, and that 10 minutes I have to wait. I'm not allowed to eat. If after that 10 minutes I still want something, I go for it. But during these 10 minutes, you can make a tea, you can walk, you can brush your teeth, you can stress. And if you still want it after 10 minutes, you can choose it consciously. Option number five is the closed kitchen. After dinner, clean the kitchen, turn off the lights, and leave the room. That is not magic. It's a signal. The eating part of the day is done. Option number six is better daytime eating. Tomorrow, add protein to breakfast or lunch, or both of them, because a better evening often starts earlier in the day. Pick one. Do not do all these six options. One is enough, because the goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to start interrupting the pattern. And now I want to talk about identity for a moment, because this is very important. If you keep telling yourself, I always lose control at night, you will keep looking for proof that this is true. But if you start saying, I'm learning to handle evenings differently, that gives you space. You don't need to be perfect tonight, because you are learning, you are practicing, you are becoming someone who pauses, someone who listens, someone who plans, someone who doesn't need food to solve every emotion. And this is a powerful shift, because many people think that confidence becomes before action, but often confidence comes after action. You pause once, you feel a little proud of yourself, you plan one snack, you feel a little more in control, you write down one trigger, you'll understand yourself better. And these small actions, they create new evidence. And the new evidence creates a new identity. You don't wake up one day as a completely different person. You become that person through small reps. Just like in training, you don't get stronger from one workout. You get stronger from repeated reps. Eating habits work the same way. Every pause is a rep. Every planned snack is a rep. Every time you choose to sit down instead of eating from the package, that is a rep. Every time you ask what you really need, that is a rep. And over time, those reps change you. So let's bring this together. If you eat after dinner when you are not hungry, the answer is not just stop. The answer is stop and understand. Use stop. S is for slow down. Create a pause before eating. T is track the trigger. Ask what is really going on. O is offer for another option. Give your body or mind what it actually needs. P is plan tomorrow before tonight happens again. Don't leave the hardest moment of the day to chance. This is not about never eating after dinner. This is about not being controlled by the habit. You can still have chocolate. You can still enjoy food. You can still live your life. But you want to choose, not react. And that's the difference. So here's your simple challenge for tonight. Before you eat anything after dinner, pause and ask, am I hungry or am I looking for something? That one question can change everything. Not because it is magic, but because it wakes you up. It brings awareness. And awareness is where change starts. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who struggles in the evening. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your family member, maybe it's your friend, just one person. Because many people think they are the only one, but they are not. And if you want help building a routine that fits your real life, having accountability, and that you can eat food, training, you are having habits that actually last, you can find everything in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening and talk to you in the next episode. Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.